This is one of the most joyful things that I'm doing right now. To realize that I have been doing this already for 2 years is crazy. I'm making reviews. In my iPad, I use GoodNotes. I started this in 2024, and I would be doing essays or just writing something about making screenshots from series, from movies, from documentaries, so much. And that's only the beginning. I feel like 2025, I went even deeper on it. I went even more like researching each one that was part of the movie. So I went down on the rabbit hole and searched more about them. I feel like I went more deep in the collage as well. Like I put a lot of effort in making something that was also beautiful, although this was just like for myself, a review. This have changed how I consume art, how I am not just like letting them pass by, even the ones that I don't like this much, even the ones that are like bothering me. For example, I have read this interview with Timothée Chalamet on Vogue, and there's just so much that bothers me. There's so much that he's saying that I don't agree, and I felt like inspired to even do a review on that as well. So things that I love, for example, this book, and things that I'm not liking, but everything that I'm consuming, reading, watching, listening. Over the last months, I guess we also got very used to the concept of digital gardening. I don't know if you know this already, but there's a lot of episodes about this, a lot of TikToks as well. Although I'm not on TikTok, I feel like this was a very massive culture. The same with the personal curriculum, that you are using the internet to learn again. And this could be very small, like saving posts on Instagram, starting to follow like magazines and journals and really feel like you're consuming more substance online. And I feel like this is like a hunger that we all felt, and I have been feeling this for years. I guess I have solved this dilemma for myself of being online or not being online by being online, not always, and not sharing so much, but consuming with substance. Today I wanted to talk actually about what is this lifestyle of an artist? Like, what makes you an artist? The idea that I always had in my brain that, especially if you are an artist, you have to become your work. Like, often people would work 9 to 5, go back home, they have a persona, and it's usually nice to separate your work from yourself. But as an artist, this separation doesn't really make sense for my values, because I do know that my perspectives, my values, they will be impregnated in my art and vice versa. So I could not just leave my work there. If I am my work, like my body as a performer, my ideas, if this is my perspective, like art as a lifestyle, like a life being. I don't do art, I am an artist, and I create and I tap into this energy vibration, but I am still not so separated. So I actually wanted to discuss today, how do we find our artistic voice? How do we find this separation, or this nicest distance ever between me and my work, my creative work? And a lot of this would have indeed something with what I just showed at the beginning, which is this reviewing and consuming and what you consume. So first of all, I guess for finding your artistic voice, you have to consume a lot, but not just with quantity, but also quality. You have to be aware of what you are consuming. Like this, you will develop your taste. Like this, you will develop your values and the critics and what you like, what you don't like, from where these inspirations are coming. Like this, you will also see patterns of what are you watching, from where this is from, like just streaming videos or series. Are you watching more this genre or this other one? Are you consuming just internet related stuff? Are you more analog going? I don't know, like it feels like reviewing what you are consuming, doing this digital or I don't know, in a paper, having a journal, having a place to write, or a book club or a community, a group of friends that you will share and talk about why this was interesting, why this was bothering you. It feels like this is a lost art nowadays. And this is one thing that I am practicing through my podcast. One of the biggest reasons I'm still here online creating, because I genuinely think this makes me better and I feel like it could help other people as well. I give value and ideas. Another thing is just for myself. I don't share this online on GoodNotes. I do there a lot of reviews for myself, collages, write my ideas, what I thought. And I feel like this process over the years has truly changed me and made me more aware of my artistic style, of my voice, of what do I want to do or create, what kind of things that I like. So this is already the beginning of finding your artistic voice and finding the separation, because at the same time I could be the one creating, but once I start to criticize my work probably or the work of others, I am distanciating myself, like making a distance so that I could watch and judge and analyze it better. So it also has taught me a lot about this separation between me, the person, and me, the working person, the creative person, and that is much more involved, and any type of critic does not even come in there because I am doing the thing. And now once I can separate myself, give it time, watch, observe, and even, I don't know, I want to say like compare this with other works, then would come the critic, then would come the analyzation of it all. If you are interested into this topic of finding your voice, finding your artistic voice, finding your style, I would recommend you to read the book of Lisa Congdon, which is Find Your Artistic Voice. She's a visual artist. There is also like interviews with other artists as well. So there is her point of view and many other points of views of artists. It's like easy to read. It's like very fast-paced. It was not an aha moment. It was everything very like, yes. But the only reason like I know this already is because I feel like I have been really instigated by this process, making podcasts about it and reviewing and everything. So for me, it felt like nice to confirm that my ideas of what is finding my voice here in my artistic world was what she also meant. So I felt like, nice, I'm on the right path, because a lot of what she says is about consistency, is about finding your taste, and it is about letting go of wanting to find one singular style. A lot of what I have talked here in the past episodes, being a multiple artist, is also about, I don't want to be just one thing. Probably I don't even want to have one style. Art is about creating something new and even mixing stuff and finding new perspectives as well. So once she explored this topic and I was reading this book, I felt like that's it. It's not something even that I want to chase and find. Probably it's just like a force that is gonna move me forward and make me continue experimenting and searching, but I'm never gonna find the thing, the voice, the style. One concept that she used here was the concept of an orbit. You're there orbiting, and then you will have elements, and then you will see some patterns, and you can get closer and can get more far from what is this. But this concept of a cycle and a circular idea and a sphere felt more realistic to me. It felt really like, yes, this is how the world works, because we live in a solar system with planets, and it makes sense that you are just there gravitating around what is yourself, even eventually, because you have to find yourself to be able to find what is your voice, what is your style. And in this journey of finding ourselves, we probably find also what is our own style creatively. And that's a whole nother episode, like finding who we are. But definitely therapy and getting to know yourself, being more honest. You have to be, as an artist, able to go deep down there and be getting to know who you are. One thing that she also comments in this book is that challenges helps. Like, they help way to discover through this difficult, uncomfortable, or with this rules, what you are able to create in this moment, in this challenge. So this is one of the reasons that I also bring here on this podcast on a regular basis some ideas of challenges that I am making for myself. This is probably the idea that I like challenges and people all around the world, creatives as well, because we do have this close space and time that we can experiment and create and have a result, and the challenge is itself a journey and the product as well, and then you can really see what you are able to do and what is the patterns inside a 30 days challenge, for example. And there you can see already the selection of the challenge, like what type of challenge you are making, and this makes you the artist who you are. One very common topic is also solo dates, and solo dates goes along with getting to know who you are and being alone and finding practices that will connect you with yourself and being more authentic. I do feel like as an introvert, but every human being, we are very social. Once we are consuming a lot of art or connecting with a lot of people around us, we absorb their values, their references, their taste. And being alone, having solo dates, leaving room for you to be with yourself is one of the practices that, of course, will teach you more about you. You will listen to you, you will be with you, and there you will find out who you really are. Like, who are you when no one is around, when no one is watching? There is an analogy that she is making here, which is the analogy of a foreign language, and finding your voice is honestly the best analogy ever. Like, you're finding your language, your skills, your tools, your materials, how do you want to work, what kind of message you want to say. So as someone that was already a teacher, like a German teacher, and someone that learned some foreign language like English and French and German, I feel like any learning process teaches us about this beginning where you don't have the words and you cannot express yourself. And it doesn't mean that you don't have this expression, that you don't have the feelings, that you don't have the potential. It's just really a question of practice, finding the tools, learning the words. When you are starting, you don't have the words, so you have this beginner gap. Whenever you're like trying a different skill, or even if you know the creative endeavor well, but this is a new tool, you will have this beginner gap where the technical stuff, like the medium itself, is not really aligned with your ideas or even maybe with your expression, your emotions. Think about someone that really knows a lot and watched a lot of movies or have read so many books. It's pretty different than go write a book then now, or now make a movie. And even though this is frustrating, you just have one singular, only really just one escape, which is to continue creating. Once you have this experience, then you will eventually find new tools or new endeavors that you can maybe one day fully express whatever you wanted in the way that you wanted. And I don't even think that that's ever possible, but you can get closer, like you could orbit a little closer to this idea, like this poor idea that you were seeking. The second thing is routine. Like, this is the consistency. This is how you will keep creating this discipline. It's nice that she talks in this book about how many artists have this cliche that we are like chaotic and messy, and eventually like a lot of the artists, real professional ones that you know, that I know, they're really organized. To be able to take the chaos, the idea, and materialize this, you have to be very dedicated, and some sort of organization has to happen. And it is something that I feel like, as a person that is organized, like I like to plan, I like somehow like to control and organize stuff, I felt like I was not the artistic stereotype person, that I'm not like messy enough or crazy or chaotic enough. But I am also very crazy and chaotic, and I am also very organized. Like, we do have every element inside of us, and we just have to accomplish the reunion of them all, like the balance of them all. And I feel like the importance of routine for me, for example, with recording a podcast, with being here, with this consistency, is really that you can look back into and see how much you have done. See that I have made already 2 years of reviews. I have made a lot in a moment that you think that you don't have done enough, that you haven't created enough, that you are not getting there. Then you can stop and really look back into whatever you made years ago and you feel like it is better. I would usually often be very impressed with people that are like my age or even younger, and they have accomplished so much, like Oscars, and they are winning Emmys and awards, they make great music, or they are great, I don't know, filmmakers. And whenever I see this, I feel like, yeah, but they started with 10 years old, or they started with 16, or yes, but mother language is English, so they haven't even had to learn another language to be able to work in this other language. Yeah, but they haven't even changed their country. Like, they are really different from the reality that I'm living in. So comparing and being aware of this comparison, because there is something out there whenever you're like jealous of someone, or whenever someone is your idol, there is something there that will also talk like directly into your soul and your taste, and it kind of explains a lot of your own artistic voice and who you are and what kind of art you want to make. So be aware of routine, consistency, of the balance between chaos and organization. Understand the beginner gap. Remember the logic of learning a different language. Until you find your voice, you will have a gap, and it's gonna happen. It is like this for everyone. And maybe paying attention, not just doing reviews of the nice work that you're watching, but the bad one as well. And also being aware of these personalities or these artworks that makes you feel jealous or it makes you feel like fascinated. Those are hints, and there's so much more in this book if you want to find out. If you have any other book recommendation, documentary, or whatever that you have found that also speaks a lot to this whole topic, if you have anything to share, if you have any insight, or you also have thought about this sometimes or maybe now, I would be very, very interested to read your comments. And you can also write me an email, you can also write me in a DM. I will leave all my socials down below. You can also check it out, my portfolio, in my website, and my links here. Check it out, my work, and if you want to even create together or, I don't know, get in contact, everything will be in the description. I thank you so much for being here, for listening me, for giving me your time. I hope this was like valuable for you, honestly, that you learned something, that this was inspiring, that this made you reflect about your own creative journey and your own style and your own voice. And eventually, I guess we won't have the answers, and we will keep searching and keep talking and reflecting about what it is to be an artist, what is art, and what it is this lifestyle of an artist, and what is the style, the type, or the persona, if that even is something good to have. Probably in many ways it isn't, because then you're typified and then you're not free enough, probably. So there's a lot to unpack there still. Probably if you want more, we can make an episode, part 2, part 3. And until then, I will see you, and I will make other episodes about art, creativity, everything that we like to talk here on The Diary of an Artist. And that's it. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you again. Bye.